Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all come on in and get comfortable. Let's have a chat today if we can. You know, it's time for crown therapy. It's Friday. I look forward to Fridays because we get to sit down together and talk about the real stuff that's going on with us, not just the jokes, the dragging, and the roasting, but the real things that we're really going through, the things that we're feeling, the things that we're experiencing individually and the things that we're feeling together as a family. So let me take a look and see who all is up in here. Lord, y'all was waiting on your sister. Hey, we got Miss Sharon Redmond. How you doing? Michelle Jenkins, good to see you. Delicia, you say you're not feeling good today. Your psoriasis is bothering you. Please pray for you. We will be praying for you. I will add you to our prayer list. If you want to talk to me personally, you know how to get a hold to me, okay? I am definitely here for you. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Nisi, Jam, how you doing? Simone B, Olympia. All right, you say you're in a serene space. Some content trouble my spirit after too long. Okay, gotcha. Wonder Woman Marshall says, "Hey, royal family, Miss Laura's here. Y'all tell Miss Laura, hey. DT, how you doing? Marquita Oliver, was this Shashi 7100? Welcome, family. Good to see you. Serene, Nicole Rianne, good to see you. The link is there, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that in a minute. Mina Ruth, how you doing, girl? All right. Listen, we got family in the house. Onyx, how you? Gwen Rogers, Songbird. All right, Florida, another Florida girl in the house. We always glad to see you. Listen, Marquita say Perry can't come over today. He play too much. Y'all don't do brother-in-law like that. He welcome. If he come today, hopefully he'll behave if he show up today. But I don't think he's gonna make it today. You know, they got a lot going on over there too. On Sherelle's World. And you know, Perry has his own channel too. Also, so don't y'all miss out on that. Make sure y'all check in with him every now and then and see how brother-in-law's doing when he's doing that hotline. He is so funny and we don't want to miss out. I think y'all experienced just how funny Perry is last night. Listen, y'all, didn't we have us a good time on that porch last night? Honey, we had a ball. We had a ball, I mean to tell you. And I enjoyed y'all so much. Jaded Nerd is here visiting with us today. Y'all tell our brother hi. Katie B, how you doing, girl? Yes, I'm so glad to see you all here. This is Crown Chat. This is not Crown Chat. Crown Chat are supposed to be the shorter ones, even though sometimes they do run long. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It run long. I get long-winded, and we get into stuff, and I try to keep up with y'all's comments. And sometimes y'all get so deep with me, I got to hang with you. You know, I can't just cut it short. LSW, hey, I didn't know you were here. LS is here. The real Miss Fake Avatar is here. Yes, we had fun. We had fun. S. Collins, you caught the replay. Listen, we had a ball last night. We had us a ball. I mean to tell you, I'm trying to get everything settled. Y'all know your sister be struggling with anything with technology. It's a struggle for me. So I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Zaline, you made it in, girl. How you doing? Yes, Precious Pisces 69. You here from Illinois. Good to see you. I'm so happy. Oh my God, girl. I was telling the truth though. I didn't tell no tales. I promise. DS, happy to be happy. Good to see you. Morgan's Musings, how are you? So yeah, everybody's here. Alita, hey, how you doing? So, y'all, today we're gonna have us a good old chat. DC said you fell asleep and had to catch the replay. You hate to miss a good drag. I know I was missing you. I was looking for DC. You know, we had our other resident sniper, Mimi, was on duty. So Mimi definitely picked up the slack. But we love it when you're here to, do your own personal sniping. Silver Diamond, how you doing? All right. So today's crown chat. I know y'all saw the description. If you did not, our title for was "Did y'all feel that?" Right? So we're talking about today that spiritual shift that's going on. Yes, Miss Happy to be Happy is telling y'all the truth. Y'all hit that like button for me. Look out for me. Listen, I don't know if there's any mods in the building or if they're running a little late. If they are, y'all look out for us. Welcoming people and housekeeping, like hitting the like button. That's not a mod business. That's a royal family business. So if you know you're a royal family member, you have the authority to handle certain things. Okay, I thank y'all so much for that. With that being said, let's get into it, right? So today, y'all know this is Crown Therapy Day. And just for the people who don't know, if you're new, Crown Therapy is something that I like to do when I'm not feeling my best, and I try to make it a habit once a week at least. And so I kind of pick Friday because it works for everybody, where where I will put on my crown because the crowns are what I love, and it makes me feel happy. It makes you feel pretty, whatever your thing is. And for the people who like to do whatever. If it's a glass of wine, if it's a high heel shoe, whatever it is that makes you feel good, put it on and come sit down. It's just to build up your energy. And I figured I'd explain it a little bit better today. Now, today, if y'all notice, I'm wearing one of my pearl crowns and I got on my pearl earrings. I'm pearled up today, right? So, just to give you a little insight, when y'all see me wearing crowns, it's not just a matter of putting on an ornament or just putting something on my head that's like a costume or just something silly to do. That's not what it is. When you see me wearing a crown, if you pay attention to the stones that are in the crown, every one of them has significance, right? So, like with me wearing the pearls, pearls have a calming effect. They help me to stay calm, they help me to focus my energy. They're very good about, just adding serenity to a situation, and they're symbolic of energy, mind you, energy that's gained through experience. And so the pearl is really special to me because of that, right? So I've experienced a lot, and it's taught me a whole lot too. The real Miss Fake Avatar, thank you for the super chat. She says, hit that thumbs up, y'all. Yes, from the UK. All right, happy to see you. All right, DC talking about helmet of salvation, holy armor. Now I ain't gonna take it that deep like Derek Jackson's wife. I ain't got no helmet of salvation like that. I don't have one I can physically put on, but I did think it was cute that she called that little tam or bonnet or whatever you want to call it, that she did refer to it like that. I thought that was cute. But and also that pearl for me, it symbolizes loyalty, generosity, integrity, all that good stuff, right? And then I wanted to talk about real quick before we get into the subject matter, because it ties in, right? So I want to make sure it makes sense for you. I want to talk about how pearls are made, right? So I know we know all of us know a little bit about it. So when we start talking about how pearls are made, we're talking about a creature under the ocean, a mollusk. It doesn't always have to be an oyster. It can be other shells or shellfish or mollusk or whatever. And so what happens is a grain of sand or a little piece of dirt will get stuck in there, and the animal won't be able to spit it out, right? And so what happens is there's a substance called nacre that's inside the mollusk, and it will start to coat that grain of sand so that the animal can tolerate it. And then eventually it's taken out either by force, or the animal will pass away, and then folks will just start harvesting them and whatnot, right? And so it made me think about us as women, especially Black women, how we have so many irritants in our lives. We have so many things that happen to us, so many things that go on with us, and they irritate us and they upset us. We get hurt, we get scars, and then we don't have nacre because we ain't no mollusks. We women, okay? We not animals. But I think something happens with us emotionally, spiritually. We start to put on a hardener or something so we can tolerate what we've gone through. We find a way to stomach it. We find a way to tolerate it. We find a way to live past it. See, the oyster don't die because the piece of dirt got in there. It just coated with something so that it can bear it. And the obvious result is that something beautiful takes place because it was able to find a way to bear it. And I think that what happens with us as women, we find a way to bear what we go through, and then something beautiful happens, right? Sometimes we end up with good careers and beautiful children, and we make money. And sometimes when we don't make money, we make great communities, we build friends. Yes, brown skin lady 81, resilience, right? Yeah, they label us as strong, and guess what? That's not a bad label. We strong as hell. We are. And that's part of our beauty. And I feel like we shouldn't be punished for it, and we should absolutely celebrate it And let me tell y'all, if don't nobody celebrate us, we have to celebrate ourselves, okay? So that's why I'm in my pearls today, because I need to focus. I need to remind myself of the fact that the things that we've gone through recently, currently, last year, year before last, all those things create beautiful things within us, right? So we need to wear them. And also, I want to make a point. Y'all make sure to wear things that are significant to you, things that have a meaning. If it's something your children gave you, if it's something that your mama gave you, if it's something your granny gave you, if it has a real significance to you, when you're having moments when you're trying to push through and you're trying to find your strength and you're trying to find where you really coming from, to dig deep to, what started you to push it in the first place. Put on those things that mean something to you, because it'll help you. It'll give you that little extra something. Right, Rochelle Clark. She said we sugar coated it. Yes, and we got a habit of putting some sugar on it. Yes, thank you so much, sis. You're beautiful too. So, with that being said, let's talk about this pressure that I know I'm not the only one feeling. Now, there's something happening, and I think we can all agree that you can feel something in the atmosphere that just ain't quite right. We can feel the push. Like you can feel something pushing against you. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you can feel something pushing against your breakthrough. Like your breakthrough is there and something's doing this. You coming this way and it's doing this. You coming this way and then it's pushing back. And so these type of things that are happening, we all hear people talking about, oh, it's a shift in the energy, shift in the energy. I want to say one thing for sure. There is definitely a shift. You're not crazy. And I just felt like today's crown therapy, it would be a good time to really just check in and let's all rub our minds together, rub our brains together, and then encourage each other that we ain't crazy. Sometimes people try to convince us because we know things or because we can sense things, your natural intuition. People will try to convince you that because you can't hold it in your hand and point to it and put it on a graph or a pie chart, that it's not real. It is real. What you're feeling is real, and you are not crazy. Let me say it again. What you're feeling is real, and you ain't crazy. That shift that you're detecting, that you're feeling, that pressure that you're feeling building up against you, you're not crazy. It's really happening. Now, the point of the matter is we need to acknowledge it. Don't wait for people to validate your feelings. If you really feel that, I don't care if they don't believe you. I don't care if they don't want to hear it. I don't care if they tell you crazy. Listen, hold it firm in your mind. If you feel that way, it's because something is there. We're not crazy people. We're mothers, we're wives, we're sisters. You understand what I'm saying? We hold down jobs. We run our whole homes, we run our families. Half the time we got to run our husband's business because they can't keep stuff straight. We're not crazy people. If you feel something, it's really happening. Do not allow yourself to become discouraged because somebody refuses to validate what you feel. If you feel it and you know it, don't let anybody dissuade you. And I get what you're saying, Marquita, that is the toughest part, but do not allow that to control how you move. Make sure that you move in a way that resonates with your intuition. If you feeling it, it's real, and you move accordingly. Don't let anybody change your course of action. I don't care who it is. Do not allow anybody to change your decision making based on your intuition. Your intuition is real. It's been talked about for millennia. Our intuition is a real thing. So you move accordingly. I don't care if it's a group of people you're around. If you've been kicking it with them, I don't care how long you've been kicking it with them. If you get a feeling like something ain't right here, I don't care how friendly you've been with somebody. If all of a sudden their energy feels different to you, pay attention. If you've been laughing and kikiing and joking with these folks, then all of a sudden the jokes kind of change. All of a sudden you can feel the temperature in the room change. You are not crazy. I don't care if you can't measure it or quantify it. I don't care if you can't put it in a box and put it on the witness stand. If you felt it, it was real. You don't need anybody to validate it. It's the same game that men play when they cheating on you. oh, you need to prove it. Sister, let me tell you, you don't. If you feel like he doing it, he did it. And move on about your business. Don't waste your time trying to be inch high private eye. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. If you felt it, it was real. And you move accordingly and make no apologies. I want y'all to be completely unapologetic about that thing. Now, certain things start to happen when these shifts in energy are taking place, right? Y'all know we will start sometime to have these prophetic dreams. And what I mean by that, now that's not to say that I'm saying you prophets or whatever, because some people you can get it twisted. It's easy to get it twisted, especially when you dream about something and all of a sudden what you dreamed about starts to happen. It can make you feel like, okay, am I a prophet? No, that's not that. A prophet is actually an office. That's actually a position of a person who has a particular set of spiritual gifts. So we don't want to fool ourselves and be running around, saying stuff like that, because that is a little crazy. But we will have prophetic dreams. Sometimes we'll have dreams, and it might be a month later, might be a week later. Sometimes it's the next day. What you dreamed will confirm to you. Something will happen in life to confirm that that dream you had is the real thing. Hold on, DC. Ain't nobody gonna block you. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to go to no bleachers. You say what you want to say. You are comfortable. You be comfortable here. You one of my snipers. Ain't nobody blocking you. You say what you want to say. Now, back to what I was saying. We ain't gonna have no discord in here because we're a family and that ain't how family behaves, right? So back to what I was saying. When you have those dreams, a lot of times that's an indication that there is a shift taking place. You know what I'm saying? There's a time when you'll start to see that there's a shift taking place, right? So what happens is that intuition that you have, it starts to form and it will start to give shape to the things that you can't give words to sometimes. Y'all know sometimes we feel something, but we can't really explain what we're feeling. We really can't put words to it. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is it's still real. And sometimes your subconscious mind and sometimes those spiritual guides that we have, y'all know who I'm talking about, will help you form it in a way that you can see it while you're dreaming. So when you start to have those dreams, oh, no problem, happy to be happy. So when we start to have those dreams, it's an indication to let you further know that what you felt was in fact real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. So when that starts to happen, pay attention to it. And then if you're having those dreams and like sometimes we dream things and it's not literal. You know what I mean? It won't literally be a man in a green raincoat on the corner. That man may actually symbolize a woman and it may go a different kind of way, but something will happen to indicate that what you saw was a very real thing, right? So if that happens and you're not sure about what you're running into, then it's not hard to go ahead and find somebody who can help you interpret your dream, help you interpret what you just saw. Hey Marcella, how you doing? And hey HU Angel, I'm glad to see you. So these are the things that I want you all to consider. Do not discount your intuition. Don't discount your emotions and what you're feeling. Trust what you are. Trust yourself as a woman and know, hey DT, trust yourself as a woman, hey Mystery Hill, and your intuition and what you saw and behave accordingly. If you get stuck and it's almost like something wants to come out, the thought wants to form, but you can't put it together, get some help. Reach out to somebody, a spiritual leader, anybody you trust, and see if they can help you to interpret what you saw in your dream or your vision so that way you can have a better understanding of what you're dealing with, right? So you don't want to do that. You don't want to ignore your intuition. Don't ignore your dreams. And then I'm gonna tell you something else that can when a shift happens, there are things that trigger these shifts, right? I made notes because I didn't want to forget nothing. It was coming to me and I wanted to bring it to you guys. And I was making notes because I didn't want to leave anything out. Sometimes I have it in my mind to tell y'all something and um, I'll mess around. And before I can get to you, I will lose half of it. And that's, it's nothing. spooky happening. I'm just getting older, so I don't remember what I should anymore. Micheline Pierre, thank you for the super chat. She says, I agree, but sometimes I battle with self doubt. I understand. And that's what we're talking about, sister. We got to stop doing that. We have to trust who and what we are. We are intuitive beings. So we can't mess around and start letting outside influences and people who are less sensitive than us to tell us what we've sensed is not real just because their senses are dull. It doesn't negate the fact that yours ain't. Okay. Now, one of the reasons that one of the things that can trigger these shifts and the pressure and the pushback is when things are going really well for you. Have you noticed when things are going real good, and all of a sudden you start to feel that pressure like you know something's coming, right? Again, you're not crazy. Respect it. Respect it. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. When you're at your happiest, that's really when you're most vulnerable. And I'm gonna tell you why. One reason is because when you're extremely happy and you're celebrating and you're enjoying yourself, that's usually the time when we become distracted. Hey, Sandra Richardson, how you doing? So that's one of the times when we're distracted. You know, we're having a good time. The family's getting together. They might be at the house for a fish fry. Somebody just got married. You know, your baby just graduated. All times, I won't say all the time, but a lot of times when these pushbacks happen, when these shifts are at their most pivotal, is right when things are going wonderfully well for you. This is when you've been so excited, things are good, you know, your spidey senses start going off and people start telling you, oh, you just afraid to be happy. Oh, you just paranoid. Let me tell you something. People call you paranoid all the time. Just because they say you paranoid, it don't mean you're not right. Okay. And so a lot of times when very good things happen, you're distracted. And those entities that work against you, your adversaries, they'll oftentimes pay attention to when you're extremely happy because they know you're not being vigilant. They know you're not really paying attention. So that's when the pressure will come a lot of times. Mr. Hill just says she bought a dream book last week and it helps her a lot. Hey, if that's what you need to do, if you need to get a dream book or whatever, do whatever you need to do. Call a friend, phone a friend, like they say on what was that? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Poll the audience. Find some help so you can interpret those things. The other reason is because when you're at your happiest, it causes like almost like a chemical reaction in your body. Like it just releases these chemicals that help you to relax. And like I said, when you're relaxed, what are you? You're not vigilant. You're not watching. You're not paying attention to what's going on. And so then it gives an opportunity for those entities that are against you to say, this is a good time to bother her. It's a good time to bother him because, hey, they ain't paying attention. They relax. They over there thinking everything's all good. This is a good time for me to strike. And the other reason that really came to my mind and was blaring at me is because that when you're happy, it actually provokes your enemies. Do y'all know that it's some people out here that just hate to see you happy? It's not even that you did anything to them. They just hate to see you happy. Some people are so miserable. Some spirits, some entities are so miserable and tortured and tormented, sometimes by their own hand. But they're so tormented and tortured and miserable that when just seeing other people happy, it provokes them. Your happiness can be provocation for a miserable soul. So when you're extremely happy and you're celebrating and they see unity, they see love, they see jubilation, they see you celebrating your baby's doing well and nature and it's terrible. They see you celebrating your husband loving on you and celebrating you and they man, got 5 outside kids. That can trigger somebody that's just miserable. So always be aware that your happiness can be a trigger for somebody who is living in a miserable existence for whatever reason. And that's not for us to judge. Mm-mm. Always remember, if they don't come to you and knock on your door, don't go taking up everything. We don't have to confront everything. It don't call for that. But just be aware that sometimes your happiness can be a trigger for other people. And the other thing I want to point out, y'all, is do not become overwhelmed with negative pressure. Don't let it get to you. Like you hear people say, oh, it's a shift in the energy. And then before you know it, all you can focus on is the negative. Like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, it's so bad. Why are people so evil? They always got to be doing. Don't focus on that. Take note of it, acknowledge it, keep your eyes open, be vigilant, but don't let it take over your entire existence to the point that that's all you think about. Don't do it. Do not do it, because I can guarantee you, as much as there's a negative shift that's happening, there's also a wave of positive energy that's shifting in the other direction. You know, over here in the royal family, we always talking about balance. So just like something negative is trying to happen, something positive and good is trying to give birth at the exact same time. Two things can exist at the same time, y'all. It ain't got to always be one thing or the other. It can be both things all at the same time. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to that. And one thing, a few things that I want y'all to do is that I want you to consider that you have to make your stance. Embrace the things that you want to embrace, meaning the positive things that are coming into your life, embrace them, speak them into existence, accept them, celebrate them, and stand on it. Like, don't back off. Don't, because something bad happens or somebody makes an attempt to do something bad, don't change your feelings about, you know, how you feel and what you got going on. Like, make your stance. Then, you know, after you stand firm in your decision, fight yourself. Okay, this is an internal struggle I'm talking about now. Fight your own instinct or your own urge to defend your decision. You don't have to defend your decision to anybody. Move according to how you feel. Move according to your own instincts. Trust your instincts, and do not feel don't give in to the urge to defend your position. What I mean by that is everybody you talk to is not on the same level as you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what have you, right? So they may not understand how you're moving. They may have so much judgment for how you're doing what you're doing. But what I want to say to you and encourage you with is, you know, you don't have to explain yourself. And they may say, well, what you're doing don't make no sense. And see, I feel like you should be doing this. And I feel like you should be doing that. You better say it, DC. You are the CEO and CFO of your MF life. Hire, fire, demote, and promote as you see fit. You better say it. You better say it. Humble Beginning says, Shanitra, what I've started to realize is that when you start working on yourself and trying to better you, the people that you love most will allow the devil to use them and try to bring you down. It is the truth. Humble Beginnings, that's a real thing you just said. I'm going to put that back on the screen. Where is it? The chat moving too quick for me. I want y'all to really look at what she's saying. That's the truth. When you start to work on you, sometimes even the same people who encouraged you to make a move forward will sit back and they see you start to make that move forward, and they see you start to be blessed in the motion that you're moving, and the same people that encouraged you to move forward will be the same ones that will be secretly hoping that you fail. And I want y'all to take that in and recognize it, but I don't want you to take it to heart and allow you to be, so hurt that you can't move forward without holding on to bad feelings. Don't keep any bad feelings about it, because you don't know what's triggering that person to move that way. And one man band, please behave with that. Now, I've asked you about that before. I don't want to have to ask you again. You know I love you, but don't do that here. This is crown therapy. No, sir. Um, what I'm saying is, we have to consider that they may be coming from a place of hurt. They may be coming from a place of fear. We don't know what causes it. Sometimes the people that we are closest with, or people we built certain relationships with, working relationships, whatever they may be, they may have different, things going on with them, different insecurities. Maybe they see your progress as something that shines a light on their own, you know, insecurities about their progress. Maybe they feel like they should be further along than they are. And it's not really about you. Sometimes it's about something going on with them. And I'm not making excuses for anybody who does something wrong to you. I'm just saying, take it with a grain of salt and just keep moving in your direction. A lot of times it is the people that's closest to you. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's people that you helped. Sometimes it's people that you have given so much of yourself to. And you've done it selflessly and you did it out of love and you had no malice, no hard feelings. You had no bad intention. But it won't change the fact that they don't always reciprocate in the way that we would like them to. So we have to keep that in mind. And that is a very real reality. Unfortunately, Jaded Nurse says you better speak, but shake the dust off your feet and use it as a testimony. You telling the truth. We have to do it. We have to realize that everybody that starts out with you is not predestined to finish your journey with you. Just because they started off the first couple of miles with you, that their exit may come before you think their exit is coming. Mm-hmm. And y'all see the link. So if you want to come up here and say anything or talk about anything, you're very welcome to do so. Because I didn't plan on staying too long today, but I definitely wanted to touch base with you all on that because I was noticing it. That's why I was like, oh, today I got to put pearls on it all. I got to really push through and bring my energy out because I can feel the pressure. Like it's in the air. It's so imposing. And when it's like that, I think it's good to acknowledge it. I definitely think it's good to acknowledge it as a family, talk about what's happening and go from there. Like don't get bogged down in it. I don't want us to, let it eat us up, but it's just the truth. Miss Harris says when it's family members, it really hurts. It does. It does. Because those are the people that are usually closest to our hearts. And it hurts. I ain't gonna lie. It can be very painful at times. Micheline Pierre says everybody doesn't have the same intentions as you. Very true. Very true. DT says, I hope today that we all learn to let go and let God. God puts people in our lives for a reason and also takes people away for a reason. Ooh, that's heavy, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Yes, y'all saying some stuff now. Lala Chanel says, I'm learning life is an elevator. That's true. That's a good way to look at it. I didn't even realize it. That is wonderful. So that's what I got for today. Oh, we got a new family member. You never told me how to say your name either. Is it Esmine or Esmine? Please tell me how to say your name or give me a pronunciation or come up here and holler at me one. Thank you so much for becoming a royal family member. Y'all make sure y'all welcome our new family member so that they know that they are welcomed by the entire family. Please. Let's not leave it for mods. That is family business, not just mod business. So I do appreciate that. Thank you. DC says, I don't let go all the way, but I let go of what I expect them to be and I move accordingly. I like that because I'm the same way too when it comes to family. I'm not gonna throw you away. I just can't. That's too much for my mind. But at the same time, I do change what I expect. I do. Very true. Let's see. Marquita Oliver says, when we were broke A students, everyone was our friends. Once we graduated and caught up and passed a few, never saw them again. It's true. We got more people welcoming our new member. Thank you so much. All right. This is what I like to see. Sister, I hope you feel welcome. The family is taking their time to welcome you. We appreciate you and we're happy to have you as a part of the royal family. Ms. Lathel Jenkins says, welcome all new family members. That's so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. All right, the welcomes are coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jaded says this feels like a lesson in discernment. I mean, it might be. I wasn't gonna dig that deep with it, but it just might be. It was just on my mind, and y'all know how I do with the crown chat and the crown therapy. If it bothers me, I always assume that it may be bothering somebody other than me. So I figure this is my time to have a little chat with family, and we can encourage each other and uplift each other, and we can talk about what we're all experiencing. Because sometimes it's good to know that you're not the only person having a thought. You know what I mean? So this is wonderful. I love it. I love it. Lord, I love DC. DC talking about new people. The China and medicine cabinets are locked, just so everybody knows. You are nuts. Melissa McClain says this is what was needed. All right. So at least, so did this help y'all? Did this help y'all to get this out? I always like, I'm trying to look for feedback to make sure that what I'm talking about is what the family is feeling, and we all talking about the same thing. I'm so glad, and we're happy to have you. Thank you so much. Okay. That's something I went through, another one of these moments of transparency, right? Coming up, I saw a lot of things, okay? Spiritually, that is. And I couldn't always share with people. Like, I'm not going to say I had a mother that was so insensitive that she would tell me I was crazy, but she didn't validate, which is why I'm always saying to people, don't wait for nobody to validate what you feel. If you feel like you know it, then you know it. If you saw it, you saw it. Don't let anybody play in your face and tell you that you didn't see what you saw. Don't let nobody play in your face and tell you that you did not experience what you experienced. Most times when people do that, it's for different reasons. Maybe they're cowards, maybe they're afraid of what you're saying, and sometimes they just want to manipulate you and try to fool you into not trusting yourself. Oh, it's Esmond like Jasmine. Okay, thank you, sis. Delicia says, what does it mean when you dream of dead family members? Now, I will tell you this from what I know. If anybody else has different information, please chime in and feel free. What I know of dreaming of dead family members or like old places that you used to live, sometimes spiritually, it's just pointing to a specific time in your life, not necessarily that person. Because y'all know the dead and the living ain't got nothing to do with each other. Now, I was taught coming up, if you see somebody that's passed, and thank you for the super chat, sis. When you see someone that has passed, they're not necessarily supposed to be talking to you. Usually, if there's someone speaking to you and they got the face of grandmama or somebody that's gone, it can be a good spirit or a bad spirit that's just taking that form so that you'll be comfortable talking to it. Now that's enter at your own risk there, because everything that's trying to make you comfortable may not be for your good. But that's just what I know of it, and that's why I say if someone else knows better, please, by all means, offer the information, come up and talk to the folks if that's what you need to do. Because we all have those dreams. A lot of us come from those southern backgrounds and whatnot. Sandy, me, myself, how you doing? And so we've been told different things, and then some of us, have not been told. So you may not have any understanding. I think we've all heard things like, if you dream about fish, somebody's pregnant, or if you dream about a wedding, somebody about to die, or if you dream about death, it's not really about death. It's usually about a situation in your life that's coming to a close. And sometimes dreaming about a baby means something new is about to happen. So, we all have some of that. I won't say all, but a lot of us have a lot of those old, um, that old mother wit that we were given, that we hold on to as a part of our history and who we were. Happy to be happy says she's mourning her twin. Sorry to hear that, sister. Y'all send her some love and support, please. Um, Carolyn McDevitt said, I was know that it was a form of protection. Yeah, I've heard that people believe that, but I don't believe that. I mean, it may be true, but I haven't experienced that. I would say that. DC said, I was taught go back to the one lesson that you learned from that person. Mm-hmm. Good or bad. Someone appeared because you need to go back, be reminded to go forward. That's what I was getting at, like a certain period in time of what they gave you. Like that's what I was told. Oh, you say your great grandmama was in your dreams. Well, try to remember what she told you, because it may be something she needs you to pull up, or something that maybe an angel needs you to pull up, and they're trying to remind you with her. And Lala Chanel, you made a good point. You may need to start keeping a dream journal. Write it down, because y'all know sometimes when you dream, as soon as you wake up, if you don't, write it down or talk about it right away, you'll forget it. It's like something comes and plucks it out of your mind, and it won't let you remember it anymore. Lockheed Naturally says, I've had them about my grandmother. She was always encouraging me when I was going through something. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, even a forum like this where we're all reaching out, everybody's talking, somebody will be able to, help you or give you some information that may help you kind of understand what you're seeing or what you're going through. Thank you, Melissa. You say, I always spoke to my late grandma and grandfather and saw white behind them, and they yelled and told me not to follow them. Mm-hmm. That's true. Okay. Gotcha. Yep. DC so crazy. Make sure they tell you if they buried some money or gold. So leave it to DC. Yes, leave it to DC with the money and the gold. Mm-hmm. And Silver Diamond says, you always give me good homework assignments. After every video, I have a list of questions to ask myself by myself when I'm by myself. Good. That's the whole point. I like when we have something to think about, kind of tickle your brain a little bit. Y'all know we have a good time over here roasting and clowning and dragging and cutting the food, but I don't want that to be all we do, because that's not all that we are. We're whole people. You know what I mean? There's people that want to put you in a box. And I encourage you, don't let anybody put you in a box. Nobody is going to put me in a box. I promise you. Nobody's gonna convince me that because I tell jokes and I clown and we talk about gossip, that's the only thing I'm allowed to do. I'm a whole person. I love reality TV and talking about celebrities and clowning and joking, but I'm a whole person. And the other part of me is very spiritual, is very loving, very family oriented. And yeah, sometimes I talk about stuff like this because I'm a person. I'm not an entertainer. I tell everybody in a minute, I'm Eva and Emmy's mama. I'm not some entertainer. I'm not going to put on some personality for you. I'm not going to put myself in a box for you. Just because I talk about one thing, that does not mean that I'm pigeonholed and you can force or push me into any box. If you're not comfortable with who I am, I'm so very sorry. But I trust that you're going to be all right. I trust that you will. And if you ain't, that's all right too. It's all right for me. Now, Jaded Nerd says the women in my family always had dreams and old saw visions. They were always accurate. It's true. Listen, that's in a lot of families. The women usually will see some stuff. The men sometimes, but the ladies for sure will usually see things in family. Mm-hmm. The real Miss Fake Avatar says, I have to admit, sometimes some of my dreams come true, some later than others. I can't lie, and that scares me. Don't let it scare you. You're just being a woman. That's something that comes naturally to women. That's a part of who we are. So don't let it make you afraid. Mm-mm. It's normal. Most of us in here have had our mamas call us at some point and say either she had a dream and saw something, or she had a feeling and told you, don't you do something. I had a situation where I wanted to go party one night. I was getting ready to go, y'all. I had got dressed. That's back when I was still running around half naked, right? So I had took my time, child, got my hair done. I was put together. My mother called me and she said, wherever you going tonight, don't go. And I was sitting there like, I just got dressed. I done paid money for my hair. I done paid money for my nails. I got an outfit. I don't know what to do. And she said, wherever you was going to go tonight, don't go. So I was mad, but I called my girlfriends. I made up an excuse and I stayed home. I got a call about 1:45, 2 o'clock that morning, that the place that I was going to go, them jokers started shooting. Them Negroes started shooting. It was one of those places, was like one way in, one way out. Everybody in the parking lot pimping, clowning, putting on. And they said them jokers started shooting and it was a mess. And I thought about, had I been hard headed and not listened, something really bad could have happened. So I think that's just a normal thing as part of being women. And, when we're younger, we take it for granted. We don't respect it. But as we mature, like I want us to mature to a point where we can really respect what we are, not just who we are, but what we are. We're women. Being a woman is a powerful thing. We don't have to try to behave like men in order to be powerful. Rest in your feminine and respect your intuition. Lala Chanel says she called it a gut feeling. Well, baby, if it's a gut feeling, I like my gut. I'm gonna stick with my gut on this one. I wish there was less of my gut, but gut nonetheless. Original Mermaid said, "You the nails are nice. You like my nails, girl? They're a little crazy, but that's just me." Melissa says, "OMG, I have dreams about things before it happens. It actually freaks me out sometimes. To be honest, I keep telling y'all, don't be freaked out. Don't allow the fact that we're women to freak you out." And I think it was Lala a little bit earlier that said she's got to start keeping a dream journal. I encourage everybody, keep a dream journal. Do it. Write it down like immediately. It doesn't hurt to write it down. Um, it'll help you to remember things. Sometimes we can forget what we dreamed, and then when something happens, then it'll come back to our mind like, oh dang, I did dream about that. Like that did. I remember seeing that, or I remember seeing something like that. Hey, Miss Loretta. Loretta Banks says, I have visions, but deja vu and intense emotional connection to people who are around me. You're right. We share energy. We do. And that's why we have to be careful who we sitting up sharing energy with. Y'all know what I'm saying. Jada says, I learned to always listen to my intuition. All of my mistakes stem from me not listening to my mom or my gut. It's true. Y'all know it's a lot of times when we don't follow our first mind. I always say that first mind is the spirit talking to you. That second mind is usually you trying to talk yourself out of what the spirit told you. Now, that's usually what's going down. So we have to be real. We have to be real about that thing. Thank you, Rochelle. We got to be real about it. Follow your first mind. Whatever you feeling, that's what it is. Because I recently had that situation happen. Um, and I did share it with one, like maybe one other person, but I was like, hey, this person is kind of in our circle. Be careful, man. Something telling me something ain't right. Something ain't right. And sure enough, little stuff started leaking out to confirm that what I felt in my gut was accurate. It was really accurate. So when that happens, I keep telling y'all and encouraging you, if you feel it, respect it. Respect yourself, respect your intuition. And y'all, when it comes to these dreams, write down what you dream. Okay? Write it down, take note of it. If you dream something crazy, don't just write it off as a mere dream. Don't write it off like, oh, maybe I ate something bad before I went to bed. Sometimes these dreams are trying to save your life. Sometimes these dreams you're having them because they're trying to save you from heartache. They're trying to save you from a whole lot of drama and stress that you don't really need to go through. Respect yourself. Respect what you dream. Respect your intuition. That's really all I got for y'all today, man. Y'all in the comments talking, but it looked like don't nobody want to come up and say nothing. No, it looked like don't nobody really have nothing to say. Oh, you driving in LA traffic, girl? Don't you call in? And Lala says we also have to learn to listen to the elders like we used to. That's true. We do, and nobody listens to our elders anymore. And it's gotten to the point that a lot of our elders have decided to just stop talking. There's an old African saying that when an old man dies, a library is burnt down. Age gives wisdom. You can learn knowledge from a book. Wisdom comes from experience. So when people have experienced things and they trying to give you the benefit of their experience, don't be ignorant and start talking about, that's you, that ain't me. Baby, it's just not you yet. So if somebody's going through something and they're nice enough to give you the benefit of the experience, they telling you, hey, I tried that and this is what happened. I've been through that. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. Don't be silly. Don't be so full of yourself that you can't listen to somebody who's telling you they've been down that road before. And they're just trying to basically spare you from what you're about to go through. And I think a lot of times we let our pride get in the way. I think a lot of times we let our pride get in the way of our intuition too, because we're so proud. So we're so prideful that it's almost like we get embarrassed when other people don't validate. It's like we need other people to tell us we're right before we can respect our own intuition, our own gut feeling, our own dreams, our own feelings, and what we're sensing. in our environment and in the atmosphere. We don't need validation. We don't. And don't let your pride get you caught up. Don't let your pride get you caught up. Yes, Miss Sharon Redmond say y'all better learn from our mistakes and experiences. Amen. Listen, if any of my elders are here and y'all need to tell me something, I'm here to listen. I'm here to listen. And that's the truth. I'm not so prideful that I can't be corrected, checked, or told something. I'm going to listen every single time. Simone B said, I tried to interpret my dreams I had because I knew they were meaningful. They were visually documented in video. Wow. I wish you would come and tell us about that. I always liked the idea of that. I used to wish that I could show people the things that I dreamed on a screen, because I used to feel like if I could explain to you or make you see it on the screen visually, hey, princess, what I saw, I feel like they would understand better what I was trying to say. And then I realized that I can't always explain it. I want to explain it to people, but I may not always be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Miss Loretta, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, thanks for the sage advice. Love the bond. I love bonding with y'all too. You say you still doing your self care. I know that's right. Become beautiful. Miss Sharon Redmond say, Simone, I'm intrigued. Girl, I'm intrigued too. I wish Simone would come and tell us what she mean. That it was visually documented. That's something I always wished I could do, was just put it on a screen or get people to like see what I saw. And I think that was more back when I was still wanting somebody to agree with me or understand what I saw, or just to tell me I wasn't crazy. Because that's what I used to want from my mother, was just let me know I'm not crazy. Simone says some dreams will not manifest for several years. That's true. That's true. But when it happens, I'm telling you, that dream, whatever dream you had, it will come back to your remembrance right around that time. Bed-Stuy BK, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay, Adam Harris says, hi Shanitra, how are you doing? Good to see you. We need to treat each other well and look out for each other. That's nice, dear. Um, yeah, I really went through that with her, looking for the validation. That's why I know not to look for that. Just kind of move based on what you saw. Don't wait for other people to see it. Sometimes they'll get it later. Sometimes they won't. But you still have to move and make your decisions accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Jaded Nerd, thank you so much for the super chat. That is so sweet. Bless you, okay? Yeah, that's the thing that really, it holds us up sometimes when we're sitting up and you were swimming in money. Well, listen, you better claim that dream, honey. So the thing was, in waiting for people to validate what I saw, sometimes it put me in bad positions. And then I found myself blaming them when really I should have been blaming me, because I didn't have no business waiting on them. I should have went on and did what I knew was the best thing to do based on what I saw, based on what I experienced. And so we do that in life, and we're like, oh, if y'all had listened to me, this wouldn't have happened. No, baby, if you had listened to yourself, this wouldn't have happened. I know I'm right about it. So that's why I tell people, like, do not wait for validation. Don't wait. If you know it, if you care about them and you share with them what you saw, that's wonderful. If they listen, good. If they don't, you know, I don't know, pray for them and move on. Like, you can't put your life on pause waiting for validation. Bed-Stuy BK, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yes, D. Marie, it's weird how we wait for validation. I think that's just part of the human experience, right? I think we want to be a part of a collective. You want the people that you care about to understand you, right? And the reality of that thing, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And the thing about it is, I did it for so long because some of the things that I was seeing they were hard for me to believe. And I think that that's another reason we want validation, because sometimes the things that we see or what we feeling, it can seem so far fetched to even you. Sometimes you have a hard time believing what you saw. Sometimes you have a hard time accepting what you experience. So you tell other people because you need that validation, or so we think, mentally, just to help you process what you thought. Right. You made that mistake too. Exactly. And no, you're not alone. You're not. You're not. And I did that for a long time. And I remember, and not in my defense, but just being real, I was a lot younger. I was a lot younger. So I remember running to my mama, Mama, I saw something in my room. Or, Mama, it really was in the corner. And she never told me I was crazy. So I don't ever want to mislead anybody. She didn't do anything like that to me. That would have been terribly cruel. She didn't. But what she did was she would just look at me. It didn't matter if I was crying. It didn't matter how I explained it to her. Y'all, she would just look at me. And so I didn't know how to feel. I really felt like I was crazy, and I felt like she was just being kind and not saying anything because she didn't want to make me feel worse, and she saw that I was emotional over it. And so she didn't say anything. And so fast forward, my daughter's here, so she knows what I'm talking about. Many years later, just like I talk to y'all now, I have friends that I talk to and I've been close to, and a lot of people come to me for different things. And so my one of my very best friends in the world, her daughter started having the exact same experience that I was having when I was a young girl, and she started to see something in her room. And she started explaining to her mama what she saw. And so my good friend and sister, she came to me and she started describing this thing that her baby said she saw in her room. And so as she was describing it to me, y'all, I'm not a crier, but tears started rolling down my face. I was so hurt because it was like bells and whistles went off. Like I saw that same thing when I was a young girl. I saw it. And so, okay, Nathi and Doni, good to see you. Welcome, okay? All the way from South Africa. And so she started to describe this thing. Tears are running. And I said, let me get this straight. And I started repeating back to her what she said to make sure that I had it right. That there were horns and there were, just the vivid depiction and description of this thing that the child saw in her room. I'm trying not to get choked up now. However, while I was trying to repeat it back, y'all, my mama happened to have been in the room. And what happened threw me for a loop, and I'll never forget it. She started explaining what I saw, what the child saw, quicker than I could. And so when I got off the phone, because really what she was doing was ear hustling. My mother used to have a bad habit. If I was on the phone around her, she would try to eavesdrop on all my conversations. I don't know why. I don't work for the FBI. I ain't got no state secrets. I don't work for the CIA. None of them alphabet people. But she would just eavesdrop on conversation. Sometimes mamas are weird like that. I'm not a weird mother, but some mamas are weird like that. And so when I got off the phone, I looked at her and I asked her, what made you say that? And she said, my sister Katie used to see the same thing would be in our room, because they're from Georgia, a little country family, and all of them would be in the same room. And so she started describing to me that she had seen this thing herself, and that it would go to my aunt, one of her younger sisters, and stand over her bed. And it broke me down. hmm. Y'all, that thing broke me down, because I'm sitting there. Hmm. At that moment, it clicked in my head. The whole time, this lady would not validate me as a child. She wouldn't acknowledge that I was telling the truth. She had seen the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I said all that to say this. I don't want to go too deep into it, because I don't feel like being a water bag at all. But I said that to say this. Don't wait for validation. If you know something is true, you know it's true. That comes to your when it comes to your children, when it comes to yourself, your marriages, your money, everything. Oh, thank you, Peanut. Everything. If you feel it, if you know it's true, do not wait for validation. And I'm going to tell you something else. Ladies, if your children come to you and they tell you something, if your gut is telling you that your baby is telling the truth, listen to your children. As a mother, you know, your gut will tell you. As a mother, you know, listen to your children. Don't don't do that. Don't second guess it. Don't start to think about how people are going to feel about what you're saying. It doesn't matter how people feel about what you're saying. If you know you're telling the truth, stand on that. That's the only thing that matters. Not a bit of it. Not a bit of it matters. If you know what you're saying is the truth, and you don't need validation. You don't need validation. You don't need it at all. Listen to your children. Listen to your gut, ladies. Trust your intuition, and I truly mean that. I mean that with everything in me. Oh, y'all, I did not mean to do that. But sometimes that happens when family talks. So y'all forgive me for allowing myself to be a little too emotional about that. But sometimes when you're trying to really just tell what happens, it can dredge up some painful and powerful emotions. So I do apologize for that. I got myself back together. I promise. I promise. But I just really want you all to understand, and I just really wanted to illustrate to you that sometimes it might be years later before you get your validation. It might be years later before the truth is fleshed out. It may be years later after everybody has called you crazy, lied on you, and everything else before the truth really comes to light. But darling, do not discount what you felt. Definitely don't discount what you saw, and do not, oh, excuse me, do not for any reason discount your experiences. If you experienced it, it happened. If you saw it, it happened. Don't let anybody take that from you. Make your stances in life, make your decisions, and by all means, resist the urge to defend the decisions you make. You no one owes you, you don't owe it to anybody to allow them to cross-examine you on your life. You don't owe it to them. Lala Chanel, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the love and hugs too. And yes, Egypt, thank you so much for welcoming our sister here from South Africa. I appreciate that. Yes. And Bed-Stuy BK is closing us out with the real. The truth is the truth. Yesterday, today, and forever. That's facts. Well, listen, if y'all don't have anything else y'all want to add, nobody wants to come up and have anything to say. Y'all know I try to leave the door open at all times in case you want to do that. Um, I really appreciate y'all. I don't even know any other words to say. Serafina Speaks says, this is a conversation I need to have with my mother because this happened to me and it happened again in the family. It's true. Have these conversations. And I'm going to tell y'all something else. Don't allow yourself to get caught up in whether these people, whether our family will take ownership of how their decisions affected us. Don't allow that to happen because we don't need it. That's something we don't need. And so we're not going to let that happen under any circumstance. We're definitely not going to let that happen. Marquita Oliver, thank you so much for the super chat, sending love and hugs. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hugs. Um, and yes, Sandy says, see you on the porch. Yeah, y'all know we'll be back on the porch tomorrow night. We will definitely be back on the porch tomorrow night. We're going to be right back to clowning and cutting up and laughing and having a good time. We're going to do it. And yes, Dee Marie, they may not be able to handle it. And guess what? If they can't handle it, that's fine. That's okay. But sometimes just you saying it and getting it out on your side is enough to give yourself the closure you need. We can't always depend on other people for our closure. We have to get it for ourselves, take what we need, and move right along. You know what I'm saying? Aries Forever, thank you for the super chat, sis. Says, hello, Shanitra. Glad I caught you. Love your commentary. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I see my royal family members using their emojis. I'm so happy to see that happening. And listen, royal family members, those of you who are Emerald Crown holders, please, y'all use the contact information and send me your mailing information because I can't get your merch out to you if you don't send me your mailing information. So please, please do that. That's one. Number two, those of you who are interested in the Black Business Spotlight, please contact us if you don't know how to get in touch with anybody else. My email address is scrolling on the screen. Contact me via email and I will get you in touch with the committee. We'll make sure we help you with your presentation so you can put your business out there and market yourself. And that goes for Facebook pages too, not Facebook, YouTube channels. So if you have a YouTube channel and you want to promote it, there's a way to do it. I will promote you, y'all know it, but let's do things decently and in order. Let's not be unorganized and messy and have people looking at us like we a disorganized family because that's not who we are. Thank you so much, D. Marie, for becoming a Royal Family member. Y'all welcome, D. Marie. And also, we're gonna have a members only. We're gonna have some fun in members only. So y'all, be ready for that. Aries Forever, thank you so much for joining the Royal Family. I appreciate that. So yeah, Black Business Spotlight, please reach out to myself and I'll get you in touch with the other ladies that are in that committee. It also, if you are a Royal Family member, please contact me and I will get you in touch with the ladies who are in charge of hospitality so that we can celebrate your birthdays, your anniversaries, and baby showers if we have any babies coming in the Royal Family. We absolutely want to take care of those things, but we cannot do it if you do not reach out to us and allow us to add you to the list. Okay, we got to add you to the list. Oh, you dealing with this new car situation? Okay, no problem. Yes, y'all are being welcome. All of our sisters and family are welcoming you to our family. We're glad to have you. So please contact us with the contact info. If you're an Emerald Crown holder, you know who you are. Reach out to me with your mailing info so you can get your free merch as Emerald Crown members. So we're going to have some good things coming up. I said before, I want to remind you if anybody wants to join channel membership and you're not able to do so, please contact me. I'm not somebody that's going to tell you business, but I will definitely help you if you want to do so and you're not able to do it on your own. Please do not allow cost to prohibit you. If you will contact me, I will do everything I can to make sure that we keep you in line and keep your membership up until you're able to do it on your own. And we do have some other family members who are offering to donate so we can make sure that everybody is able to participate if they want to, okay? Now, with that being said, if all hearts are clear, we're going to close this thing out. I appreciate you all so much. I enjoyed Crown Therapy today. You guys are such a supportive family. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all being patient with me, with my, technologically challenged behind because I'm not good with technology, but y'all are always so patient. We always have such a good time. I enjoy our talks. I enjoy our chats. I definitely enjoy the front porch. And with that being said, didn't we have a good time last night? And y'all, I was so happy that Sherelle and Perry stopped by the porch to hang out with us yesterday. Y'all, I think I laughed till I hurt my side. We had such a good time. I enjoyed each and every one of you. Those of you who missed it last night, y'all go watch the replay. They cut up in here so bad last night. It was a shame. It was a shame before God how bad they cut up in here last night. We had a good time. And I want to encourage you all to come out tomorrow to Front Porch and we're going to just have us a family good time. We don't have nothing negative going on. We just clowning and laughing because laughter's good for the soul. So, with that being said, we've covered everything. All hearts are apparently clear because ain't nobody came to say nothing. And we will see y'all tomorrow on the porch. If we do have one of our family members, one of our sister channels that has a live this evening, if I see it, I will try to let y'all know. I'll share it on the community tab. Or we may do like we did with our little cousin Jaded Nerd. If I see something like that, we may jump on here live real quick and make sure we can gather as much of the family as we can so we can go over together as a family and support our sister channels on this here YouTube. In the meanwhile, I love y'all so much. Stay positive, stay blessed, stay prosperous, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Live and nothing happen, okay? Bye, y'all.